I normally don't address this topic until later on, but it is the one that people are most curious about, and it also impacts whether or not people really want to follow the Jedi lifestyle. How you define the Force, right, can be a very spiritual thing, so it's a very personal thing for people. And so it's something that directly impacts whether or not someone's going to call themselves a Jedi. So let's jump into this. So the first thing to know is that there is no set definition for the Force. There are two very popular definitions within the Jedi community, but there's no actual set definition. The definition that I've used for a long time has been ineffable. And that basically means that the Force is too great for words. It is beyond our ability to quantify in verbal language. Is basically what it comes down to. This is just a definition that I've been using since around 2002. It's recently caught on due to the Jedi Compass. The second definition that you're going to most hear in relation to the Force is energy, and that's it, right? They're just going to define it as energy. And that in itself is a very broad term, and it has several definitions or several different ways people take that word and what energy means to them. We can be talking about energy, molecular and atomic vibrations. You can be talking about thermal and kinetic energy. You could be talking about energy in kind of that broad sense that's often equated to ki or chi in Eastern philosophy and practices. People use it as kind of the energy process of the cells. A lot of people like to use energy in terms of mitochondria, because it kind of flows with Lucas's whole midichlorian thing, the powerhouse of the cell and all that, right? Here's the point. There is no singular way to say what the Force is within the Jedi. Okay, not in the path, not in the way, not in the community. If Obi-Wan and Yoda's and the Star Wars definition of what the Force is, an energy field created by all living things, if that's what works for you, if that's what best describes your experience, then run with it. Use it. If it works for you, that's what matters. What's important when we approach this topic is that you keep an open mind and that you seek to explore. Have a starting point. If you want to use the Star Wars definition as your starting point, great. If you want to use one of the two definitions that we talked about, ineffable or energy, as your starting point, fine. If another Jedi that you respect gives you their definition of the Force and you want to use that as your starting point, that is acceptable as well. The main thing is simply to have a starting point that you can then explore and experience the Force for yourself, and then come to your own definition. That is the whole point of the term ineffable, like why I call the Force ineffable, because in the end, definitions don't matter and labeling doesn't matter. It only matters for you and what helps you put the concept in a way that allows you to continue to explore it within your lifestyle. Of course, we're talking about a starting point, so once you have your verbal starting point, then let's start getting into some experience starting points. And I wouldn't leave you without some sort of exercise or technique to try. So here's 3 things you can do to help explore the Force. If you have the time, take a moment, and if you don't, you can stop the video. Whatever, we're done. You're done. You can go. Go define the Force. Go experience the Force. Go do it. I mean, that's the thing with the Force, right? If you really want to know it, if you really want to define it, don't listen to me. Don't just take what I say. Go out there, experience it, and then you can define it for yourself based upon your experience. Okay, so go do that. Go. First exercise: stop. I mean, breathe. But yeah, just stop, breathe, and I kind of just take a moment. Just stop what you're doing and take a moment for yourself. Even right now, you could just pause this video, close your eyes, and just breathe. That's it. Simple as that. And just let that moment wash over you. Just stop and be mindful about it. No stopping on the freeway or anything, you know. So second technique, world watching. It's basically taking a 5 to 10 minute timeout and just kind of observing life and observing what's going on around you. I recommend going someplace like a Starbucks or your local coffee house, whatever it may be, but just taking a moment where you can grab something, sit down, and kind of just observe the world happening. So lastly, the last exercise, you're not gonna have to stare at my face. We'll put up something that you can follow along with, and it's just a quick breathing exercise. And we'll use the Jedi code, which will be our next video, so stay tuned, subscribe, whatever, right? Let's get that out of the way. But we're gonna use the Jedi code as kind of a breathing exercise that you can do. Thank you for watching.